This reading is going to be a little different than my usual readings. So I had a prophetic kind of vision this morning when I woke up, and it was of a white raven. Now, ravens are very mystical, and they're messengers from the underworld. That's what regular ravens mean. But this was a white raven, so like an albino raven. They're very rare, and when it's like a white animal, usually it's a signal, a symbol of divinity, a symbol of purity. And so there's definitely something important about this white raven. And so I pulled some tarot cards. Let's go ahead and look at them. And in fact, so we got the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. Now I'm going to see if I can pick up anything else behind the cards. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm just picking up on more birds. Another raven, this time a black raven, and then a stork. So there's definitely a sense of like good versus evil, like right versus wrong, ethics. And looking at the cards on the board, there's a sense of people who are doing the right thing, not really having anything happen to them. There's a sense of peace, tranquility, uneventfulness with the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Like nothing's happening to you. However, I'm getting the feeling with the black raven that I saw that there are people. There's a group of people who is not having such a tranquil time right now. On the bottom of the deck, we have the world. So there's definitely, the world is like a crossroads. So it's like there's groups of people, different groups of people are having different experiences right now. And if you've been doing good, it's almost like Santa Claus. If you've been doing good, you get rewarded by this, actually, by having nothing terrible happen. If you've been doing something shady, unethical, if you've been following the advice of the Black Raven, then let's pull more cards to see what boat you're in. Let's see. Oh, there we go, the devil. So yeah, look at this. If you are acting on behalf of the Black Raven, so kind of like working with the underworld, rather than listening to the higher wisdom of like the divine guides from the White Raven, then you might be under the influence of the devil. You might be experiencing devil energy. You might be experiencing obstacles and challenges, problems, but these are all kind of your own making. These are all things that you kind of chose this path. So the 2 of Wands is a choice. You have chosen this path. You have chosen the path of most resistance, or these people have, this group of people have. Again, I think most of the people who are watching this video are in this top group because you probably, if you're watching this video, you probably watch tarot videos. So you probably are aware of spiritual advice and that sort of thing. You guys are probably doing great right now. But this is more informing the collective that not everybody's doing great right now. And not everybody's experiencing peace right now. And it was a choice. It was a choice that you made at some point that we're talking about with regards to the Ravens. There was a choice where it's like the high road and then the low road. And I think that we're experiencing the consequences of that choice that was made a little while ago. Maybe even a long time ago, not sure. Now, the other thing, I want to go back to the stork. So the stork is a bird that has to do with birth, right? Birth, and I think also purity, children, babies. So there's a sense that, again, the innocent are not experiencing the devil. And the innocent, the people who have chosen innocence, the people who have chosen purity, right, are not experiencing the devil. They're not part of this group. And I think that could be what the death card means here. Let's pull oracle cards. Anything else about the raven, the white and the black raven, and the stork? Anything else about this message? That's too many cards. Anything else about the message from the raven? Okay, here we go. Okay, getting interesting. The number 5. The number 5 is difficulty, it's strain, and it can be those problems we talked about with the devil. Now, this again might be not be the problems that some people are experiencing, and these problems have to do with lacking resources. So this could have to do with not having enough money, but on a more general sense, it could be like shortages. This could be like not having enough food and water available in general. So this could be something that's coming up, and this could be something that, like I said, some group of people are going to experience is food shortage, resource shortage, even if you have money. But this could also just be talking about a lack of money for these same people. On the bottom of the deck, we have the eye. We have the eye and the brain. Wow, these are things that are not unforeseen. This is kind of like stuff we already knew about. Like, we know the lakes in the Midwest are drying up, right? We know that there's wildfires because everything's too dry, because we've built houses too close together. These are actually, these sorts of shortages and problems highlight things we already knew. And I think that maybe things that these people have been ignoring, the people who are affected, who, I'm not saying they deserve it, but the people who are effective maybe needed to have looked at some of these factors before. It's bringing it to light. It's forcing people to look at a problem. It's forcing people to look at people who need help, because the hand is about help. It's forcing people to look at how resources are allocated for the people who need them. So, yeah, but again, you may or may not be one of these people who's in this boat of having these problems, these financial difficulties, these resource shortages. Maybe you're one of those people who's in the wildfire, who's out of there, you don't have a home. And that's your shortage. You have a shortage of shelter. You're relying on, the government because you have nothing left, right? So that's the sort of thing we're talking about here. Okay, let's pull some advice, and we'll find out more. Any advice here for the collective as a whole regarding this Raven message? Any advice for people? I think the advice is just to be aware that, if you're good, then you should probably be grateful that you're good, because not everybody's good. But let's see. Any advice here for the collective regarding this Raven message? Okay. Ooh, there we go. Oh, wow. This is super interesting, kind of complicated, so I'm going to start at the very top. Eight of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords is actually, look at the situation very carefully, because it could have so many moving pieces that you might end up falling prey to this second line of cards, which is, it's almost like giving too much reparations, like being like, well, these people need extra this. These people need all these extra things. In fact, let's shower them with gifts. Let's go overboard, and then at the detriment of maybe everyone else. It's kind of really harkening back to the fact of, like, you can't just look at one group of people and ignore everybody else, right? So this is like this message is all about preferential treatment. It's all about reparations, but only acknowledging like one small group of people and not everybody else. Because there's an argument to be made that everybody could use something, that everybody deserves something extra. And I think that the people who deserve the most and who are the most unacknowledged is just the workforce. It's just people who work regular blue-collar jobs. It's like, you don't get any preferential treatment. You're not autistic. You don't get, you're not Native American. You don't get any assistance from the government. It's like, you're just completely ignored. You're white. Like, the people who are the workers, those people should get something. But again, it's going back to the people. It's like we're giving it's preferential treatment. Preferential treatment to sugarcoat a situation. But let's look at the bottom cards. I'm going to move everything aside. 10 of Wands with the 2 of Cups. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is a strategy that's unsustainable and doesn't work. So it's like we're giving too much to the people because we feel bad. It's almost like guilt, a reaction based on guilt. And we shower whoever needs it with too much. Meanwhile, we haven't really looked at everybody. We haven't really looked at, like, there's plenty of groups of people who need help, not just what's one group of people who's desperately, needs help. There is just a sense of more fairness and equality with regards to everybody, not just preferential groups, okay? And that being a topic of conversation, that being something that puts a strain on the system and forces people to look at. It needs to be looked at, it needs to be talked about. Like, it's great that people are helping the people in California with the wildfires, and they're going to be taking, let's say that they get showered with money and all those people are fine. Well, that's great, but there's plenty of other people who still need help. There's plenty of people who our lives are in economic shambles out there, economic despair everywhere. So it's not just one group that needs help, and we just need to stop like glorifying one group and helping one tiny group at a time and just patting ourselves on the back, and actually start to apply helpful resources to everybody. And that's what I think this advice is. Let's pull oracle cards. Any last advice here regarding the Raven? Any last advice, please? All right, these cards flipped. So we got the Princess reversed and the 0 reversed. Again, if you're innocent, the Princess is innocent. You're not in this boat. You have nothing to worry about. You're going to be taken care of. Let's see what other cards there are here. The Sun. Wow. The Sun, the Cup, and the Heart. Wow. If you have had gratitude for the things you have, if you have been acting ethically, if you have been acting in accordance with your heart, right? That's these 3 cards. You're not part of this group. The Princess reversed. You're innocent. You're left out of this. You're unaffected by the whimsy of the universe. Or not whimsy, but by fate, karma, etc. you're not going to be affected and you can rest easy. And this is kind of confirmation for you guys. If you have been acting with in an ethical fashion and with gratitude, you're good. You guys are good. You're not in this. You can relax. You can sleep. You are kind of like a different stream. Aquarius is like its own separate stream of people. That's you. You don't have anything to worry. You're a bystander. Look, you're the cat. You get to watch and see this happen, but not be affected by it. Okay, so I hope you guys got something out of that. I hope you guys liked this message. Again, it's kind of like a weird format or different way of doing my readings, so leave a comment, tell me what you think. With that, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out my latest stuff on Patreon. Links for that should be below. I'll see you guys.